is up, GOAT?
What's going on? It's October 11th. I have a very special guest with me. We're doing something we don't normally do in the show. Well, I try not to do on the show, but we are talking some New York Giants. Joining with me is RefThatBets. Is that right? Am I messing that up already?
RefThatBets.
Yes. Okay. So follow him if you're not already following him. What's up? How's it going?
Good. Computer problems, so not good there. But doing great everywhere else in life. Everything else is great. Besides the Giants, we'll talk about that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it. So what's your deal? Like, what do you do?
I'll
Like,
give you my whole little spiel. All right. So first off, I was graduated from college right before COVID, right? And I'm like, what the hell? I wanted to do some of the finance and whatnot. And then I got into sales. I do sports memorabilia sales. So you see behind me, that's an Eli Manning autograph frame poster from my old boss that he gifted me. So yeah, I did. What's up, Wink? So yeah, I did sales for about 4 years, and then I noticed I met Trent. Or I met Crab. Krabs. I met Krabs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's like, dude, you gotta make a Twitter account. This is like the November 2021. And I'm like, yeah, I should make one. And I was always afraid, I don't want to be hostile, get death threats. Oh, you gave a bad pick, Ref, you know what I mean? But then I realized that I'm good enough where I can do it. And then I quit I went crazy. I got a lot of exposure quickly. Then shout out Trent, like I said, went on his show every day, giving up plays. And then I started streaming myself. I quit my job and went all in. I stream. I'm a nutty guy. I stream like 12-hour streams. I do long.
I love it.
So yeah. So like the first part of my stream will be like just going through plays, whatnot, having a good time. And then whatever after that we do, it's called, like I mentioned to you, fixed sweats we do.
Okay.
So everything's so fixed, right? Everything. That's our theme. So yeah, we do that and we stream for a long time and it's freaking fun, man.
I love it. Taking a bet on yourself. I did something similar. Trent and I also have the same agent, and Krabs is coming on next week. So I hear you on that. They're such a fun group. I am going to try to get on Trent's show. I think tomorrow I'm going to try to get on. I was talking with them, but those guys over there are a blast.
You got to go on there. You got to tell him he's a terrible bettor, and you got to mess with him. You got to get him going. Because he's the worst, but that makes him the best because he's so funny, man.
Yeah, it's a blast. He's a great guy. Lauren over there, too. We'll give a shout out.
LC,
she's the best.
She's sharp. LC's sharp.
She's very sharp.
Me and LC Cash big in college basketball together, talking a lot of games. She knows her stuff.
So what's your favorite sport to bet on then?
Okay, I'm going to throw you for a whirlwind here.
Okay. I'm ready.
You ready for this?
On my high noon. I'm ready.
Yeah. It's not any of the major sports. It's NASCAR.
Okay.
All right. So a little background on this. By every week I have 10 plus units at least deployed on NASCAR. So my dad, growing up, I'm a Giants fan because my dad as well. Everything I do pretty much in this space, I try to make it to kind of honor my dad who passed away in 2019. So I do everything in his name pretty much. So like when I post parlays, I do number 9 because Chase Elliott, the NASCAR driver, was our guy. And the last thing I got to watch of my dad before he passed away was the Daytona 500. And I was already betting NASCAR heavy then. Then I'm like, all right, I want to like really follow it and never miss a race. And because my dad loved it so much. And so I bet on NASCAR by far the heaviest because my dad taught me everything. I was at this track, our local track called Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
And they go there every summer. And my driver, Chase Elliott, has won 2 times there. His first ever win was there. And I literally have the laps memorized where I know when he has to pit. So I'm there with my buddy. I have 2,500 on him to win because he is so good there that I'm willing to lay that. and he was on pace to take the lead and whatnot. And I go to my buddy. I go, hey, I'm looking at the lap. I go, dude, it's time to pit. He's going to run out of gas. 20 seconds later, he runs out of gas. We leave because you run out of gas there, you're done. It's over with.
Yeah.
We're going to come back at that track. So, I lost that bet. But in 2020, I placed my biggest future ever on him to win the championship. And he won it. 1,000 to win 10,000. And he won it. And it was 4 days. It was 9 days exactly before my dad's birthday. So
that is crazy.
It was the happiest moment in my life for sure. One of the happiest for sure was him win the championship. So
I love that. I absolutely love that. Behind me is my grandma with me.
Awesome.
I get it. Someone I used to also watch the New York Giants with, but I almost joined a fantasy NASCAR team this year and I didn't do it, but I think I'm going to do it now that you kind of convinced me.
Dude, you got it. I've been a one-off, like the $1 million lineup thing they do, wherever it is, like 7 times this year.
That's crazy.
I know too much. Well, you can never know too much, but I definitely think I know way too much than I should about a sport like NASCAR. But yeah, you should. I help you out big time.
Okay. All right. You're going to help me out for sure. So you are a New York Giants fan.
Yep.
Dad was a New York Giants fan.
Yep.
May your rest in peace. And where are you from? So are you from that area?
So I'm from Rochester, New York. Yeah. So I'm in Bills country. I'm in Bills land. Yeah. Oh my God. I walk outside. Yeah. I walk my dog. Everyone's got Bills stuff on. Right. I mean, it's insane out here. Yeah.
So you're not going to have a very fun weekend, probably. I'm from Connecticut. I'm in Michigan now, but that's where, just right over the border. 50 to 60. I got into an argument with someone on Twitter how far I was from Manhattan. I'm like, we don't need to talk the fucking logistics. Like, I'm 50 minutes from Manhattan. All right, an hour and a half train ride.
Seriously, right?
Drive what I do, it's 50 minutes. So maybe to you, it's an hour 50. It's 60 minutes to me. So I like you either had the option. It's like Jets, Patriots, Giants. So it was very fun growing up.
Yeah.
Not so fun now. Now I live in Lions country.
Wait. You live in D-Town land?
No, well, I live in Grand Rapids. So like 2 hours.
You said Grand Rapids.
So like 2 hours.
I'm the biggest Eminem fan in the
world.
Are you?
Okay. So
yeah. So no, the Giants suck so bad this year, right? That I am rooting so hard for Detroit. I really hope Detroit does well. Just because I always have said my whole they're everywhere. He lives. That's my good buddy. He lives in Buffalo. They really are. So another funny thing is I do root for because I am such a stan, right, of Eminem. I do support all D-Town teams. So that's funny. Living in Grand Rapids. I want Detroit to keep doing well. So go Lions, I guess.
Me too. I'm noticing a lot of Giants fans, all of us, since we are going through a lot of misery that I don't know that we thought we would be back here, at least in where we are right now. I have noticed a lot of us are adopting second teams. I have adopted the Houston Texans. I think they're a feel-good team. I enjoy rooting for them. I think CJ Stroud is fantastic. I like the teams that have been through a lot of misery. I
don't know what it is. What does that
look? It's so fun. Yeah.
That dance is sick. I gotta learn it.
I know. I do it all the time.
I gotta learn it. Yeah. It's sick.
Okay, talk to me about your experience, I guess, this year with the New York Giants. We'll jump right into it. It hasn't been a lot of fun. I will say before I let you go off, I've been exactly correct on our wins and losses with my preseason predictions.
Really?
The one thing that I know, it's coming to an end. So I'm perfect. I've been perfectly correct. So far, I had us upsetting the Bills. That is not happening this weekend. But I have so far been correct because I don't think any Giants fan or any logical Giants fan thought that we were going to go into the season with the schedule we had and start just kicking ass. Right. We saw from week 1. I was like, this is how it's going to go this year. All right, got it.
Yeah. So I, first off, put my first future in when the schedule was announced on the Giants win total under. So I knew the Giants had the most ridiculous. I mean, who was making this guy? I mean, they were so mean
The mean, because they were favoring Aaron Rodgers too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fix. Yeah. See, that's the fix. That's where we tied the fix into all of this. That's how we tied it. They favor the Jets, so they fixed the Giants. How many away games to start this year?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew the season was cooked before the season started. Yeah. Just because of the amount of insane amount. I mean, what was it, like 5 out of 8 to start away? And then we got a terrible bye. So so I knew in general the season was going to be bad. But this is insane. Okay, I'm going to start.
This is something else.
I'm going to start with injuries. Obviously hurt, right? If Saquon's honestly not on the field right now, it looks like not JV. We're going Pop Warner. Yeah. We're going Pop Warner, because this line, all right. So I used to be an offensive lineman. So how I got the name RefThatBets, by the way, I referee sports. I referee soccer. I used to do football. By the way, football is really boring to ref. Just so you know, it sucks. Soccer, basketball, lacrosse. Those are sports I ref. And I was going to be a coach actually for offensive line, and defensive line. So that's my specialty. And man, I literally cannot believe Evan Neal is Evan Neal a real person? Like, is he even real? What is he doing, Evan Neal? Let's start with Evan Neal. He literally did it 2 games in a row. 2 games in a row, he said, let's not block the defensive end. That's literally my assignment right next to me. He's right there. Let's just not block him.
What's that meme that's like, that motherfucker back there is not real? Like, it is, but it's the whole line. And I can't
I'm starting with him. Oh, we're just starting with him.
So, I can't believe we're in this spot. Like, I thought we were at our darkest days when Mark Colombo was there, Pam Fleming, Will Hernandez. They're like dancing clowns. Tripping over each other. I'm blocked by Mark Colombo on Twitter because I had to write him a letter. And it was unacceptable. He was screwing up Andrew Thomas. Like, I thought that was the darkest we could get. And I actually pulled this for this, to address how bad it's been. Like, one, I graduated college in 2015. I think that's about around the last time we've seen some solid O-line play.
It's literally the last. The Giants, it is literally Swiss cheese. Like, we're talking about an offensive line. So when I talk about coaching wise, they don't even know how to slide protections. Like, I'm telling you, I know what. Like, I'm such a nerd. I study film with the Giants, and I'm like, wait a minute. They're not even sliding to the right side where Daniel Jones is rolling out to the other side to make the play work. It's automatically dead. Like, the play's dead before it's even starting because they didn't even know how to slide. It's unreal. They don't know how to down block. They don't know how to pass pro. I mean, the offensive line, you can't win without an offensive. I don't care what anyone says in this league. It starts up front.
Yeah.
It starts up front. You have to have a good offense.
My pinned tweet for the longest time, and I take it off on the days that I have my show, but it's nothing matters if the O-line sucks. And I've been saying that. The tweet was in 2021. I mean, I think that, Joe Burrow kind of got around it that 1 year, but he's now where it's hurting.
Fluky, fixed. That was fluky and fixed.
That's a fix. Yeah, that was a fix. But you look at Jones, right? So you want to give this guy this money. And, I'm not really a big PFF girl, like not really my vibe. I think that there's a lot of it that goes into it. But if you want to use PFF, and I pulled this just for this show for us. So this is in Jones' career. 2019, this is the O-line's rating. 17th, 2020, 31st, 2021, 30th, 2022, 30th. Our preseason rankings was 29th, and we are currently the worst O-line in the entire league. So what the fuck are we doing, and why do we not address it before this year started?
I don't know why. First off, I like Wendell Robinson. We didn't need Wendell Robinson there. there was like 3 O-linemen that were falling. I can't remember the top of my head who they were, but there were 3 O-linemen that I wanted that were falling. The year before that, I mean, the same thing. I mean, besides Tom, I mean, the only thing Gettleman did that was good was draft Andrew Thomas. I mean, that was a great pick. He's unbelievable. Maybe him being hurt really just ruins the whole O-line's chemistry. But no. It's so bad that it's like they don't even. I'm gonna lose my mind about the blitzing too. They don't know how to pick up blitzes.
No,
like you literally. It's very easy. I talk about sliding a lot. You slide off. Say you got the middle linebacker blitzing, right? Okay, and no one's covering the center. Okay, the center takes the middle linebacker and covers that blitz, right? Guess what? The Giants, they just let them go right through. They just let them go right through. I mean, there's no competency anywhere. I don't know what the hell happened in the offseason. They did a lot of partying apparently because they look like they're on acid.
No, it's worse than that. It's so cute of me because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give Evan Neal grace. Like I was really mad at Andrew Thomas for a little bit. And then it took 4 minutes into that game for me to say, get Evan Neal off this fucking team. He stinks like shit. I can't do it. And what I don't understand is move him into guard. But I think at the end of the day, this team without Andrew Thomas, without JMS, who was a fantastic pick this year at center, and without Saquon on the fields, you're not going to get anything done. The Giants running backs, not a single one since Saquon got hurt has eclipsed 30 yards of rushing.
I didn't even know that.
They're awful. They're shit.
Are you serious?
You can't do anything with that. So it's like
I thought Breida got 30s one of these games.
No.
You know how bad it is? We had to put Eric Gray to try to run the ball. Listen, just listen to his name. Eric Gray. Yeah. You want Eric Gray with that offensive line? Yeah. There's a 0% chance we do anything. It's a dumpster fire, and I'm bringing back Jones again, talking about him. All right, so like I said, I'm a nerd. I study film, and when he got drafted, I'm like, yes, this is the guy because they've been watching him they were watching him before they knew Eli was, all this stuff, it was coming, right? So I watched so much film of Daniel Jones, and he improved so much. And now that he looks terrible because that interception that last week that he threw toward in the fourth, or 2 weeks ago when the game was actually somewhat competitive, they had a chance to go down by 2 or something early in the fourth. The only reason he threw that pick is because he was rushing because he has no time. That's the thing. So when you're a quarterback, you have progressions, right? So he went to the first progression because he just was so nervous he's about to just get killed that he goes to the first progression, even though Darren Waller was actually wide open. But he didn't have time to think because he's so worried about getting hit.
Also, you know what Daniel Jones is, and you know he needed a good O-line. You chose to pay him because last year, not that the O-line play was great, but it was decent enough to see Daniel Jones succeed. Then the excuse becomes he needs more weapons. Fine, get him more fucking weapons. So what did they do? They went out. They got him more weapons. I don't care if I wish they would just trade Paris Campbell for some type of, I don't even care if it's a pick exchange. He's useless. I don't know why we did that. I knew it was a Band-Aid for Wandell, but you get him Darren Waller. Cool. Awesome. Right. Love that. Right. Then you draft Jalen Hyatt. Also great. You got Wandell coming back. Where are the weapons if they're blocking? Does he really have weapons?
He doesn't have any weapons. And then another thing I mentioned a couple of these players. Let's talk about Wendell, right? Mm-hmm. We can use, all right, so the way to get around a bat, I always used to tell my coaches when I used to play, I always say, if you do we played this team in states. I remember this game very vividly. And they had a terrible O-line, but they would use their skill players out the backfield so dynamic that they would fuck with your head, right? And that's what we can do with Wendell and these dynamic guys we have. But Mike, all right, I'm gonna say right now. The coordinator, Kafka, was just literally got the job because he made Mahomes look good. He sucks.
Yeah.
You should know how to utilize these guys. If Jones doesn't have time, right? So you got to know, like, have plan B, like something quick, like maybe just an out route, even like just like a flat route to Wendell. Just give it space. Give people like that space. Like Hyatt's a deep threat, and we have no time. So Hyatt's a little different. But I can't stand the play calling either because he has no time. So you have to like fix it and try something else. It's unreal.
And it's so annoying. Before I ask you this next question, like the start of the Arizona game, I was like, oh my God, I am in literal fucking hell again. I'm like, this is really fucking happening. Like, there is no way that we look like this. Like, how? What do you mean? Like, you added personnel, you did all these things, whatever you needed, you have what you need. Like, no, is it a perfect roster? Absolutely not. We're concerned about our defense, and our defense is what looks better than what is going on. But then where did that second half Arizona team go? Like, where did that play calling go? Because I don't see that happening.
Right. They were being super aggressive. Every play they were, it's tough. Like, you got to know when to take the shots, right? To
take the training wheels off too. Like, are you going to baby this kid for fuck's sakes?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dude, by the way, how about Hyatt's first two plays? He has an insane, it's called perfect timing on a catch where you perfectly fucking time the jump and the catch. Oh no, let's not use him either and try him at all. Oh my God, it's so crazy. But yeah,
why bother?
Right. Why? I think the Arizona game, honestly, though, was more so Daniel Jones saying, "I'm the man, and I'm gonna go nuts." I went to the Washington. I know you're you said the big Giants. So you remember this? Washington versus Giants in Washington, 2019, overtime. Do you remember Daniel threw for 5 touchdowns?
Oh, yeah, I sure do.
Oh, yeah. So
that's the best O-line he's fucking played behind in his whole goddamn career.
And he threw for 5 touchdowns, right? And that was a good Redskin defense that year. That was that year where they actually were like top 10 in the league for D. They actually had a really solid defense. So I saw my eyeballs don't lie to me. I know they don't lie. To me. I've seen the kid ball out. I know he can do it. It's such a mess. You want to talk about the defense? Tackle?
Please don't get me started on this. We don't have a lot of time left. Please don't get me. What are we doing? Why are we not finishing tackles? I don't know. What are we teaching that we don't know how to finish a fucking tackle?
It's Pop Warner level.
I can do it.
Oh, I know you can.
I am 5'1" and I weigh 105 pounds soaking wet, and I could do it.
Oh no, you would easily tackle Derrick Henry because they have no
problem. I promise.
No, you have.
I'd have a better shot. I'd have a better shot than
way better shot than any of those bozos. I'll stop there. They just don't tackle. They don't. They go back. I know I talk a lot of football like analysis stuff where like guys should be in this spot. Well, you know how who got wide open a couple games ago? I forgot who got wide open, but the secondary, like brain wise, they didn't know how to follow their assignments. Like it's insane to me. It's like
I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of miscommunications going on. It's a disaster. And there's a lot of this Caleb Williams talk, obviously.
Oh God.
What I say to that is, and I'm going to run this by you, and I said this on my show a couple times. So the Giants win total has already come down to 5.5. That happened like 2 weeks ago. Whatever, fine.
Nuke that.
That's okay. But my thing is I'm going to keep an eye on it because I think that this is going to come down when we get our ass beat on Sunday.
Right.
And here's the thing. If Andrew Thomas is not seriously hurt and you tell me that I'm getting Andrew Thomas back, I'm getting Saquon Barkley back, if you look at the rest of this schedule, the remaining schedule, you know, I don't know who sets up these models. 7th easiest, so be it. Washington, New York Jets, at Vegas, at Dallas, at Washington, New England, Packers, at Saints, at Philly, Rams, Philly, week 18. There's 5 wins in there, unfortunately. So these fans that want to think we're getting Caleb Williams, chill the fuck out because it ain't happening.
No. I don't want Caleb Williams anyway. I don't want him. He's not a New York type of quarterback that I want on my team. That's another story for another day. But yeah, you're right. You know what? Shit. Do I hedge my under and middle it?
Maybe
7, 6.
Who knows? Let's fix the fix. We can fix the fix.
No, we're fixing the fix. I'm going to middle the Giants win total. They're going to finish with 6 wins. Oh, my God. Thank you.
I'm telling you. I'm eyeing that shit out. And I still think, like, best case scenario, they show us what this team could be. Then you still get a decent draft pick. They need to be very active in free agency. I just don't think, like, even if I want to come up with some dream scenario, that's not happening because this team, unfortunately for everyone, is going to end up sneaking out 4 to 5 wins. I promise you. I promise you I would bet my life on it.
Chat. If you're, I'm sure you guys are some of you are Giants fans in chat. Listen up, guys.
I'm sure.
Listen up. We ain't getting another quarterback early. And if we do, it would be Penix, but I don't think he's going past number 3. So like, guys, I honestly be honest, I like Daniel Jones. I like him. Like, I like the way he plays. Like when he has time, the dude throws darts. I can't. I mean, and Danny Dimes, he didn't get the Danny Dimes nickname for nothing.
He didn't do anything.
Because he came up.
They keep putting us in goddamn prime time. So what are we supposed to do?
Right. And yeah, he's fixed on prime time. Someone's fixed in his brain where he goes, oh, I got to pay out the books here. We can't do this one. But big problems in New York. Big. I'll say one more thing. Brian Dable, is he losing the locker room? This guy, like, what's going on?
No, not quite. I think that they're
like,
you can't overcome the personnel issues I think are going on with this team, unfortunately. And I think that there's a lot of guys that need to go a different direction to make this team mold a little bit better here. We're losing to the Bills. That is going to happen. It doesn't matter.
I need you to tell me, do I sell? I live an hour away from Bills Stadium. Do I sell my tickets? I have 2 tickets.
Dude, I don't know. Yeah, to some Bills fans, I'm sure they'll buy them for.
I think I should. I don't think I should go. Right? I don't think I should go.
I personally am boycotting them. Like, I will not be attending any games.
I've attended a game every year since 2009. I believe. And I think this is my first year where I'm saying, I'm sorry, guys. You're literally causing me to have migraines. I get migraines watching this team. I
was so mad. I was mad.
Maybe I'll go and just just get drunk with the Bills fans and just start.
Do it. They're a good crowd. Like, they know it's going to be an ass whooping. Like, it'll probably be a good time.
And then the Giants went outright.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows? Maybe you're a good luck charm. It would follow. It would track. So far, I'm correct up until this point. Give me your best bet or one of your best bets for week 6 before
best bets. Okay, so I want to talk about the Colts.
Okay, we can talk about the Colts. I already took that.
Yeah. All right. So you like the Colts?
I like the Colts. You don't like the Colts.
Oh, I fucking love the Colts. All right. System here. Big system play here. The stars are aligning. Okay. So we got the Jaguars riding high. I mean, that London ride home after being 2 weeks in London. They're riding high. They're going nuts. So guess what? We're going to fade all of that, right? and by the bad news with the Colts, with
Mm-hmm.
Richardson being out, and this Colts team who's going to run all over the Jaguars, I think, because they're just dogs. I think they just get that dog in them. Some teams just have that dog sometimes, and they're just pests, right? I think they are. I know JT's back and whatnot, but Zach Moss running wild. I love the Colts. By far my favorite game this weekend.
Yeah.
By far. What do you got?
I'm with you. No, I'm with you on that one. There is, if you're a trend person, there's enough trends to tell you that these teams coming back from London do not fare well when they get back. Why don't you tell everyone, this has been great. You'll have to come on and complain about the Giants with me more. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you so they can hear more of all of this?
All right, so you can find me in many places. My Twitter is at RefThatBets on the bottom. And my main thing is I stream every day. Mostly, some mornings I miss because I'm asleep and I miss the morning stream. But that's very rare. But 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I run a show called Morning Wood. Twitch.tv.
Can I come on it sometime?
Are you kidding me? I need guests. I don't invite many people on. I only invite cool people on.
Cool.
So yeah, and a Giants fan, you're automatic.
Amazing.
So 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. My main show is either 4 o'clock, but usually 4:30 till whenever the hell I feel like stopping. Sometimes I go to 2 a.m. So
amazing.
yeah.
Okay. I'll be there. You're the best. Go to the game. Go to the game. They need you there. They need a fan there. Go to the game. I will get you on at some point a little bit later in the season, maybe when things turn somewhat around. But you're the best.
No. Once we're complaining about we want to fire everyone and everything, then you have me on.
We get fired up.
We'll turn the ship around a little. The ship won't Titanic yet. I'll leave it at that.
I love it. All right. Talk to you later.
Yo, thank you so much for having me on.
Anytime.
You're the GOAT. You're by far one of the dopest girls in the Twitter space.
Thank you.
No. Because I make fun of a lot of them. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I do on my show. If you watch my VODs, I do make fun of people. I'm a funny guy. But you, I never make fun of you. You're
appreciate
shit.
it.
Thank you so much.
Fun of me. All right, appreciate you. See ya. All right, next guest. He waited in the background. This is my good friend, Ben Cary, founder of Cap Wise and new dad. You are a new father. How's it going?
I got the little one right over here, so he's sleeping. Hopefully he doesn't start crying, but I think you should be good.
Well, we're going to talk about the Broncos a little bit, so I don't know. He might start crying a little bit. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. You know, as a Broncos fan right now, it's weird times. Not looking good, but, you know, I'm under the impression that there's a possibility that we might be tanking. I don't know if you've heard those rumors out there, but
I have heard the rumors that maybe this is the deal. And I feel like this kind of started when Sean Payton came in too, where it was this, he doesn't really like Russ. There's all these comments a little bit about Russ, and maybe he is taking matters into his own hands a little bit, because while I don't love Sean Payton, he's not my favorite coach ever. I think that also he's performing a little bit under where I even expected, because I have been a little bit anti-Broncos for the last 2 years.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where when I first heard the rumor, I'm like, it's so hard to tank in the NFL, right? But systematically and like just from like the top down, it's possible. And like there's just a lot of weird coincidences and things that have happened where you know, you start to beg the question, like, is Sean Payton actually not worried about winning games? I could see it being a thing because Caleb Williams is generational, but at the same time, you know, it's either you get that number one spot, you get the worst record in the NFL, or, you know, you try to be competitive. So I don't really know what we're doing. It's really weird. Like in the first half of games, we play really well. And then in the second half, we somehow just piss it all away. And we also have like the worst defensive coordinator in football who gave up, his defense gave up 70 points. Like in what world does that not warrant someone getting fired? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and I
don't know. It's fishy.
It's fishy too. And then also I think the one thing about tanking that people don't realize, and I'm dealing with this with Giants fans right now, is like, it's it's kind of hard to lose that many games to get yourself to the spot where you are getting the first overall pick, because I don't know that anyone in their right mind is leaving the first overall pick without Caleb Williams unless they are getting a haul like we have never seen before.
Yeah, I was going through it, and there's a few teams where I'm like, I could see them maybe trading.
Yeah.
Like Houston, but Houston's probably not going to be in the mix anymore. Like they're playing better than we thought.
I think
so. Other than that, did you see the comments that Reich made over in Carolina about like CJ? Well, it was basically about Bryce Young, and then they asked him about like, and then he kind of alluded to like essentially saying he wanted Stroud as this guy, which would make sense because that's more of a quarterback that he would draft, right? It's a bigger frame, kind of stronger in the pocket versus a guy like Bryce Young. Yeah. I thought that was really interesting.
It is. And also I feel like that is just dysfunction as a whole. And I think there is a chance that Carolina and it sucks because it's not their pick anymore. So they're going to underperform and they're still not going to have their pick. So you're kind of stuck, which is where it's like, Frank, you kind of have to learn when to shut up at some point.
I know that was like, what good does that do? That's even if you think that's going to like motivate Bryce Young. It's like, no, that was insane. So maybe it slipped up. Maybe he didn't really mean it, but yeah, we all saw it. So.
Yeah, it was almost a worse slip up. Like Ron Rivera does these weird things every once in a while, and it felt very Ron Rivera to me, but worse.
Yeah.
But worse.
Yeah, where you're like, Ron, like, why did you say that?
Why? Like, what were you thinking? Did no one prep this man? What do you think the realistic outcome is for the Denver Broncos? Like, best case scenario. Let's go.
Record wise.
Just in general, yeah, you can do record wise.
Because you ask me the best case scenario, and I would say we lose the rest of our games.
Yeah.
But then it's
that's fine.
Because at this point, like Russ is actually playing better than most people are giving him credit for. Like last game was pretty bad. He held on to the ball too long, but he's actually performed a lot better than last season. If he played the way he is playing now last season, the Broncos were probably like a fringe wildcard team with how good the defense was.
Yeah.
It's just been night and day with the defense. The defense is terrible. I mean, again, 70 points. Like, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but it's really hard to give up 70 points in any level of football, right? And in the NFL. And they could have kicked a field goal, but they decided not to. So they would have broken all-time points record in a game. So at this point, it's like, even if you have Russ playing well, he's basically got maybe 1 to 2 more years left in him. So you start to look at the future, and I think Caleb Williams is all that. I'm buying the hype. I've bought the hype for the last few years. It just comes down to, are we that bad or that committed to grabbing that number 1 pick?
And it's kind of, and I'm just thinking of this now, like this isn't something I thought of until actually you were just talking. It's kind of one of those nice cases where Caleb could come in and sit for a little bit, which I actually am someone that I think that you don't need to throw someone right out there. I think it's okay to sit behind a vet for a little bit. And maybe that is a nice scenario. Not that I don't think that Caleb can't walk right in and help a franchise. I do think that that's possible. But while you're paying someone, you might as well get your money's worth a little bit. But I agree with you in that, like Russell, I've been very low. I've been very negative on. Like we had the bet about Ibiza last year and I should have took it. Like I have been low on Russell. I've been low. For those of you that don't know, we at one point, what was the bet even? It was if the Giants.
I think better record. Like I was confident the Broncos would have a better record than the Giants.
And I should have took it. It's one of my bigger regrets here. But I have been low on them for a while, in that I saw Russell declining on the Seahawks way before I think people wanted to like at least accept it. There was more going on there. And I thought, oh yeah, maybe a fresh start, but I'm still wasn't fully bought in. But I do think Russell is playing, and you can't do much when your defense is playing like that. So now they go against the Chiefs. Chiefs are double digit favorites at home. Where are you at with this game? I think total is sitting at 47.5. That's moved a little bit.
Yeah, so a few notes on the Chiefs and Broncos just historically. The Chiefs have a 15-game win streak on the Broncos.
Yeah, it's bad.
That last win the Broncos had was with Peyton Manning that Super Bowl year. And I don't even know if Peyton Manning was the starter in that game. It might have been Osweiler. I can't remember because he came in mid-season and won a few games for us. He actually played really well. So shout out Brock if I ever see him, that 6'10" man. I think he actually calls games on ESPN College.
I was gonna say, I think he does.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's a hell of a win streak. Like, even if you have a dominant team, you think in the division you're gonna slip up like one time out of the course of like 3-4 years. Like, you see it with the Giants. Like, even when the Giants had bad teams, they would come out and beat the Cowboys every once in a while, right? It just happens.
Yeah.
So that hasn't been the case. Like 15 straight. Like, the Chiefs have absolutely dominated us. Travis Kelce plays really well against us. I mean, he plays well against most teams. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a breakout game. Broncos can't guard tight ends, and Travis Kelce's kind of been quiet. I mean, other than not being quiet. In
the tabloids, maybe not so much.
But on the field, I mean, I don't think he's hit over his yardage mark since all that started.
I wonder if some of that is a little bit of age.
I think it is. And I said before the season, I think his best years are behind him. And I mean, he's still a top 10.
He's still fantastic. He's not someone I was drafting in fantasy. Not that I was
because he was going so high.
It's got to, at some point you start going the other direction. We've seen it with every great player. He's still one of the greatest tight ends that we have been fortunate to watch.
Yeah, value-wise for a draft, he was going way too early. Like in my best ball leagues, I think I have him on maybe one team. I barely have any of them.
Yeah, I don't think I have any of them.
Can we get behind like a Travis Kelce game? I don't know. I'm on the fence, but what are your thoughts?
I don't know. It's interesting. I think that the Chiefs defense, to my surprise, has been a little bit better than I anticipated. I do think Thursday nights are weird. The total has come down a little bit further than I would have liked. I think
there's wind.
What was that?
I think there's a little bit of wind.
I think that must be it, right? They're saying there's weather on a couple of these totals that are switching up here. But the Chiefs, the things that the Chiefs are really good at doing is they just run the clock out somehow. Like, they are able to make this game go in whatever direction they want. It takes them a lot to get the points there, but they do it. And it's very much part of their plan.
It's like a methodical game plan. Like,
it's crazy.
First of all, you never feel like you're out of a game with Mahomes. And then when you're up, you feel like you're in total control. And like, second half rolls around. I've seen this firsthand. You get those 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, first down. You don't convert, 4th and short. Guess what they do? They go for it, right? And it seems like you just never get the ball back. In this game, though, there's a lot of rumors about Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton being moved pretty soon. And Jerry Jeudy is like doing these cryptic posts, like talking in weird language. Well, it's English.
I know everyone thinks it's too. I think it's funny though.
It's because
I'm adding to the fire. I know I am.
I think it's funny too, but it's not funny because he's underperformed as a Broncos player. We drafted him early in the first round, and I guarantee you this is what's going to happen. He's going to get traded, and then he's going to go off. Like, that's just classic. I think he might go to the Panthers. We were talking about them earlier. I think that's a viable spot, but a lot of people will be like, well, I don't want to touch the Broncos because they're going to trade everyone. But then half of me thinks, well, what if they try to like ball out? It's a primetime Thursday night game.
Play too.
Yeah. And you don't want to injure guys though, right? Like the last thing you would want is like you're about to trade a guy and he gets injured, but it's just so hard. And it's a Thursday game. Fluke shit happens. They get less time to prepare, watch film. I don't know. I'm probably leaning under, but I can't back the Broncos right now. I would have to take the Chiefs with the points.
Yeah, I lean the under too. I'd probably stay away from the spread entirely because also last year, like, Mahomes has just not been great when it's a double-digit spread. I realize this is a little bit different of a scenario, although the Bears, they totally stomped when they went in there, and that was the last double-digit spread I think that he faced. I like Jerry Jeudy. So his 4.5 reception line, I do like that over. I think it's at plus, what is it? Plus 105, maybe plus 115, one of the two.
He got a lot of targets
last
game.
What was it?
Yeah. He got quite a few targets last game. A lot of short passes. So I kind of like what you're thinking with a reception prop versus like yardage.
Yeah, I stay away from the yardage, I think. Is there any props that you're looking at this
Well,
game?
I wanted to ask you this. Dolchich.
Because you liked something. You tweeted something that I also liked, the Pacheco, that I didn't give out early enough.
Oh, yeah, because it moved up the longest run, which I know it's only a yard it moved, but with those, that can be hit or miss. I've lost probably 3 or 4 last season off a yard. Like, it's crazy how much a yard really matters with those props because it's like kind of a window, right?
Right.
Dolchich was taken off the IR, so he's eligible to play, but I haven't heard anything about that. But one prop that I was looking at is Adam Troutman under, just in case, like let's say Dolchich is in the lineup, that's going to move down immediately to like 13, or maybe they'd take it off. And then even if he doesn't end up playing, I still kind of like it. I know the Broncos could be down in passing situations, but Troutman is just kind of a guy who's there. I feel like him and Sean Payton are boys, and they're just like when he was brought onto the Broncos, like Sean Payton called him up and he was like, "Hey, you want to come to Denver?"
He did that with a bunch of players.
Yeah, and like they're literally like starting in preseason, and you're just like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Stephie, there's weird shit that I could make a list where you're like,
I think you're onto something. There's a conspircy theory
and the whole conversation on the Coward show before he was brought on to the Broncos, talking about Caleb Williams, and like he's like, "Oh, I would love to have that guy on my team," and all this stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I should take the tinfoil hat off, but
yeah, no, I'm here for it. I think if you're gonna do a Troutman bet, I kind of lean more this like first touchdown, anytime touchdown type situation. I could see him maybe getting into the end zone, but if Dulcich comes back, everyone knows that has been following me. That's my guy. I think the Broncos have been missing him a little bit. He is such a good player. Tell me about this McLaughlin that is just deciding he's going to be a stud. I love him. He runs angry.
Yeah, he's fun. I remember back to preseason, he had a few runs, and I'm like, okay, every team has that like undrafted or like late round guy where you just root for, and he's stepped up to the plate. He's looked really good. He's shifty. He honestly reminds me a lot of Phillip Lindsay. The way he runs, just hits a hole. He's shifty, but it's also like one cut and go. He's not like a guy like, oh, juke, where you're like, all right, that was one too many jukes, right? Hits the hole, goes forward. He's just a baller. Youngstown State guy. I think he like led D1 AA, I think, or FCS and rushing yards or something like last season. So he's fun to watch. I'm pulling for him for sure.
Yeah, really like him. I picked him up in a couple of fantasy leagues. This is probably my worst redraft year of my fantasy career ever. I will be limiting them next year and either just drafting off vibes or just going best ball entirely. Is there any other props that you're looking at for this game?
Yeah, I'm looking at Javonte Williams over rushing yards. Talking with some people who I really trust who cover the Broncos, they said that he probably could have played last week. Really? He was just a question, like the quad injury. It wasn't so much they were worried about something tweaking. It was more of discomfort, and he wanted to go, I think, but it's it's the middle of the season. There was even a quote that said if it was the playoffs, he would have played, which Bronco fans in playoffs, we haven't seen that in 9 years. So I was like, that's funny. Let's put those 2 words in a sentence. Anyways, yeah, like who are we talking about at the play? Like, we're not the fucking Chiefs. Like, actually, that was an hilarious.
And what does that even mean? Like, what does the fuck does that
what are we talking about? Yeah, like the Oakland A's are like, oh yeah, if this was the wild card, you're like, okay, yeah, that's a great hypothetical. Anyways, his yardage mark like 2 weeks ago was in the 50s. So I know McLaughlin is back, right? And he's going to probably steal some carries, but I wouldn't be shocked if Javonte gets a lot of carries, and they kind of ride him down the field. The only thing is if the Broncos get down, second half, and he is sitting at like 35 yards, you're going to be like, oh, shit. Here comes P. Ryan. Let me see what the number's at.
I was going to say, 36. Do they have that open yet? What is it?
36.5. It's like pretty low, but again,
that's pretty low. I feel like
McLaughlin coming in. Let's see what his number's at. He doesn't even have a number up.
It's high, I think. Is it?
At least I'm not showing it. It was high last week, so we'll see. That one kind of watch. Other than that, do you have anything for the Chiefs? Like,
I have one more for the Chiefs. Sorry. Two more probably for the Chiefs, like that I feel confident in. So Justin Watson over 21.5 receiving yards. You guys have not been great against deep passes. It's not really much to tell. 23.3 yard average depth of target. He's averaging like 43.8 receiving yards per game. And he's flown over this, like his longest has gone over this. So it doesn't take much for him to go over this number. So I think that they're just moving the ball around a lot, these Chiefs. And I think that's what makes it
hard with these props, right? Like there's so many targets, but at the same time, then there may be more value.
Yeah. I think it's, I think there's probably some value in some of these touchdown props. I haven't put a lot in totally. I think you can look at Pacheco's receiving yards too. He's getting a lot of that work. I think it's like 11.5 right now. The over on that, I don't hate either. He's like averaging 19.8 and he's starting to get hot. So I think Pacheco is this is about to be the last week we get some value on him. So I'll probably be in on as many Pacheco props that I can be.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good look. And the Broncos, again, absolutely terrible the way they've played against running backs. I mean, Achane, or it's Achane now. He changed the pronunciation up on us. I was looking at longest rush against the Broncos, and I was just so numb during that game that apparently who's their like third string running back, like behind him, he had like a 20-yard run. I was like,
yeah, it's bad. It got
gosh,
really like
So
the Dolphins, like if you're someone of a fan base and you have the Dolphins coming up, like have a good time because it is not fun.
There's a best ball league I'm in. The I miss what's the main one, the $25 one. I can't think of the Best Ball Mania. Duh.
Okay, yes.
It's a league that one of the teams sucks that I'm in. It's like I'm like 11th, but the guy is in the top 100, and he has DJ Moore, Moser, he has Achane, like he has all those guys, and he's in like this 800s. It's like shit.
It's shit. God, now what? Oh my God. Final score prediction for that game.
I'm gonna go with 31. Did we get a field goal? I'll say 31 to 14. 31-17. 31-17.
Okay.
We'll get a.
I think about where I would mark that at. What about week 6 in general? Is there anything that you really like?
Yeah, so I started handicapping today. A lot of the props are starting to come out late. It's pretty common by like week 5 and 6. You start to see. It's funny. Week 1, the books are getting them out, and they're like,
they're ready to go. They're ready.
Yeah, and now there's injuries. There's bad weather. There's all this stuff. But actually, it's funny. This one populated an hour before I got on here, and I wasn't sure if they would have all these lines out. This one definitely is going to be kind of contrarian. And I like to bet unders too for props. But this is going to be Breece Hall under rushing yards. Yeah, 54.5. Philly's run defense has just been so stout. And I really think that this is the game where Zach Wilson kind of comes back down to earth. Like he's had a few good wins. Like people are like, hey, we feel good for you. You were benched and all this stuff. And we drafted you so early. But now I feel like, okay, against the Eagles defense, I think it kind of turns around. If the Eagles can get up in this game and it turns into just a passing clinic for the second half, I feel really good about this one. So I know it does not feel good because didn't Breece Hall run for 150 yards last week? Something
it doesn't do it, and I'll give you I'll give a little tush push. Is that what everyone calls it? Brotherly love. To that prop is I think that this is also the game where the Eagles kind of get right here. Like, not that they have looked bad, but I don't think that they have looked like the Eagles quite yet. I haven't been 100%. There's been a lot of games they could have lost so far. They have won, which is what good teams do, and that's great. I think this is a very nice get-right game for them, so I think that's a very good look there. Before I let you out of here, what are your current top 4 quarterbacks?
Oh, man. What interesting that we went with 4. Because I think
I know. That makes it difficult. That's why.
So right now, let me think here. We got to have Mahomes up there, of course.
Okay. You don't have to put them in order. You can do them.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anyone. I mean, if we're talking about play like today, right?
Right now,
you got to put Purdy up there. You have to. Like, and I've been under the impression that me and a lot of other people have been like, okay, Purdy, good offensive line, good coaching. But last game, like, he was making all the throws. He looked really good.
Yeah.
I can't just be stubborn and hold on to that, because that's when you start to become just an annoying NFL fan, where you just like all your priors and everything that you believed off season, like you hold on to them. And it's like, no, that's not how this works. So I think at this point in time, I got to put Purdy in there. Yeah, and Mr. Scrap. That's actually funny you say that. It felt weird saying that when I said that about Zach Wilson. I was like, I don't think anyone's ever said that before. But doesn't it kind of feel
time for everything on this?
Doesn't it kind of feel like that though? Like people are like, oh
true.
yeah, Zach Wilson's revitalized. He's not
revitalized though. People are delusional, to be
exactly
like it's actually really stupid.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to the question. So I got Purdy. I got to put. I think I still have to put Hurts in there.
Yeah.
I still think I do. And then the fourth one's tough, because like I would think about Lamar, but Lamar's been, I mean, I guess there's a lot of drop passes last. I think Lamar. I think I'll go with
got
that.
it.
Is that a good? What's your
Lamar? Who did I miss?
Hurts.
I almost said Foles. That's so funny. I don't know why. I just almost slipped that
Wait,
up.
what's your 4?
What a weird slip up. I don't know. So I probably would argue, like, if we're talking about right now, like, Purdy is probably flirting with being in there. I think Herbert still deserves a look. I am one of the people that's bought into Herbert. Mahomes, very obviously. And Kirk Cousins is in there for me. People aren't going to like it. But if I want to win a champion, like, I think that Kirk Cousins, I would love him to go to the Falcons, somewhere where he has a full, complete team, because we haven't seen the best of Kirk Cousins yet. And that's saying a lot, because his numbers are really nice.
Let's talk about that real quick before we hop off. Where is your prediction where Cousins ends up in maybe the next few weeks here?
Okay. It's funny because I was going to bring this up right after so we can talk about I don't get the Jets thing, to be completely honest. So Kirk has full control over where he decides, no, you're not sending me there. Kirk is a family man. Like, let's talk about this from outside of football perspective.
Huge dad life vibes.
He is dad. He is the biggest dad. He has like his family is so important to him. You think that Kirk is going to go somewhere to sign a contract to then have to move his family again? You're crazy. This guy is not going to the Jets.
Yeah, he does not want to go to the Jets.
The only incentive is to go somewhere like the Falcons, where, okay, let's sign a 1-year deal that we can sign it and, extend it for another year. There's no reason that Kirk Cousins goes to the Jets. It's actually delusional, because Aaron Rodgers is coming back. Why on God's green earth, and Kirk loves God, why would he do that? Like, it doesn't make sense.
He might come back. Aaron Rodgers is trying to come back for the playoffs. Which
it's crazy. There's no
crazy.
way.
So I agree with you.
Yeah, my pick is for him to go to the Falcons. I think that team is best prepared for him to come on. That's not my prediction.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, at this point, if they win tomorrow or Sunday, maybe the moods change. But if the Vikings lose, I think all the headlines are going to be like, where is Kirk Cousins going?
Yeah. And no one's going to be expecting it, but I'm telling you right now, 0% chance. Maybe Anthony Richardson's injury is a little bit worse. Kirk is not going anywhere that he cannot sign at least a 2-year contract with these kids. Promise. Back to Washington, Mr. Scampers, I've been saying.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be just a gap guy.
Yeah, he's just not going to do it. All right, tell everyone where they can find you when you're streaming, whatever the deal is.
Yeah, we'll be streaming tomorrow night before the Monday or Thursday night game. Today is Wednesday. That means tomorrow's Thursday. So we'll be streaming, talking about every prop category. So we break it down. We'll go into the passing prop market, touchdown market, everyone's favorite, and then also like the receiving and rushing. So that's on our Twitch, and that is just Capwise, twitch.com/Capwise, and then you can find me on X, as we call it. I'm finally getting used to calling it X. It feels weird though, saying when you're like, yeah, I saw that on X, and people are like, wait, what did you see when you were on drugs? And you're
dirty,
like, you're like, okay. So you can find me there, and I'll be bullshitting about all sorts of stuff and try to give out
the
good
best.
bets.
Everyone go follow him. I'll get you on again very soon. I'll be on Monday, your show. Monday, right? So you guys can check it out. And go follow him on Twitter. I feel like you can find all of his stuff on there.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We'll have to do it again. We'll see you.
Good luck to the Broncos. See ya.
Thank you.
Hey.
All right. Producer Ryan Tim.
Yeah. I love that energy bringing me on. Producer Ryan time.
Producer Ryan. What's up?
Yeah, he's here.
How's it going?
It's going well. I had an update. I went and had my date in Vegas. Very well. You told me not to do it, that I'd be too thirsty going, but it went really well. So if anybody was wondering how my Vegas date went. So I like having
we're watching out for you here.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just like having somebody in Vegas I could go on dates with when I'm there.
Yeah.
Because I want to go to Vegas.
When I'm there. God, I hope she doesn't watch the show. Jeez.
She definitely does not watch the show.
Good.
We have a question from chat. I thought I'd run by you before we get to the Twitter questions. Waller or Ertz this week in fantasy?
Oh my God, guys. Waller might not be playing, so I don't know what the fuck is going on with the Giants. Another injury. Eileen Ertz found the end zone. Who do they have this week? Why am I drawing a freaking blank here?
Oh,
who do they
Cardinals.
have, Brian? Yeah.
Why am I drawing a blank too? Jeez.
I don't know. You're the fan. I know. They're playing the Rams.
The Rams, duh.
I mean, I'll take that matchup over Waller and the Bills. I don't know. I'll message you, Trevor. I'll let you know. That's a ridiculous question right now. Okay.
This first question, not a lot of questions on the I gotta hide this current car. Not a lot of questions today, but I thought this one was funny, mostly because it came from Brian Dayball's burner account.
Oh my God.
It's
funny that you bring this up. I almost sent you this account, and they're about to get blocked, but it's kind of funny. So I haven't blocked them yet because it's been making me laugh. Every tweet that I have, they're like, "You're so unserious. Show us your feet." Like they have replied to at least 7 of my tweets since yesterday.
So yeah, this Brian Dayball very into your wanting to know about your feet.
They're really not that cute. I get it, but no. Yes.
Wilson Long, Akers, is he still worth holding on to?
If you're still holding on to him, yes. Your waivers are probably really depleted at this point, and Madison's role is continuing to decline just a little bit. I thought it was going to taper off a little bit more than it did last week, but I think we see that start to diminish still. So hold on to him. Probably not anyone else that you could pick up anyways. So
yeah, I hear you. I have a personal question I'd like to ask about my league. Okay. All right. So one of my leagues, I have a number of good running backs, but like no tight end. So if I'm deep in running back, I can only start 2 running backs. I have Derrick Henry, Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor, Jerome Ford. So those are all starters that I can start. Should I trade Derrick Henry, who I think looks like he's lost a step? Should I trade him for Sam Laporta? Because I do not have a very good.
Yeah, if you can do that easily, don't even think twice. Bye. Do it.
Really? That's it? Mm-hmm. Are you out on Derrick Henry? Do we think
I'm not out on him. I just think that and I'm so mad I didn't give out the Spears prop last week, but Spears is just getting involved way more than I think a lot of people anticipated. Henry's kind of just reminding me of the Kelsey thing. It's just not totally there. We're missing that. What do they say on or that razzle dazzle or whatever?
Yeah, he has got no
razzle dazzle. Yeah. But that's I think that's an awesome trade. Laporta is probably going to finish as the tight end one.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. This has been a good long show, and we'll be back on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Please like and subscribe, people. Anything else, Steph?
No, that's it. See you guys Friday.
All right, let's get out of here.
Watch him make it, break it, break it, break it.